Morning, folks. Just taking a moment, setting everything up. Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're doing a live one on YouTube. We are continuing our trek to Mythic, playing a bunch of different brews, trying to get there without necessarily playing a tier 1 deck. So what we're trying to do is feature as many kind of new cards, strategies, kind of updates to old lists, kind of fun things to try out. We are invited to the early access event next week for March of the Machine, so we'll be doing brews next week. I'll be live for that as well. But today we're going to start off with some Grixis Phoenix in Historic Best of 1. So Arclight Phoenix was a deck that got kind of nerfed out with the nerfing of Unholy Heat. They banned Brainstorm. It was one of like the top tier decks. Very kind of an annoying, very super consistent deck. In Best of 1, there's not as much graveyard hate, so you can kind of take advantage of that. But we're trying out a Grixis version, and I've kind of been having a lot of fun with various dredge piles, so prized amalgam decks. So this is a Phoenix list that's also got some dredge elements to it. So we can get prize amalgam comes back from the graveyard when we return our Phoenixes. It also comes back when we return our Oxes, as well as if just milling over Narcomoeba. I was playing Creeping Chill in this deck, but it doesn't, because it's just exiled, it doesn't count as a cast. And because we're not playing Silver Smoke Ghoul, it just a lot of times ended up being a 4-mana Lightning Helix in hand that just felt awkward. We wanted cheap spells to trigger for our Phoenix, so we weren't necessarily going that route there. The core of the deck of why we go Grixis is because we could play Glimpse the Unthinkable, milling ourselves for 10. By doing so, we get to fill our graveyard, we get to flip over our kind of dredge effects and kind of play into that effect. The main way to kind of trigger it is through Finale of Promise. It's a 1-mana card that lets you cast 3 things. I am trying out Tainted Indulgence over something like Expressive Iteration. This helps me kind of bin extra copies of cards that I don't want in my hand. I can do it at instant speed. It's very easy to get 5 or more mana types into our graveyard. And then we can just draw 2 cards without the discard. So trying out that over Expressive. It's also instant speed, so we could do it on our opponent's end step as kind of a setup. I've really liked Otherworldly Gaze. Just another way to kind of set up your draws, get your Phoenixes in the yard. And then if you mill it over, it's also got some utility because it can be flashed back. The rest of the deck, 6 cantrips, Consider and Opt. Going more Consider because Surveil is more important. Just getting stuff into the graveyard. We have the Gaze. We're doing a burn package of Unholy Heat as well as Fiery Impulse. Quite easy to get Delirium in this deck, and by having the damage be able to deal to either creatures or planeswalkers big, and 4 damage is really good against the artifact decks, angels, anything like that. Impulse is a 1-mana kind of lightning bolt at home. Faithless Looting as our draw discard effect to kind of set up our draws as well. So we're going to give this a shot, see how it goes. I think I'm Diamond 3, or just on the cusp of Diamond 3. So we'll see how this goes. I am 3-0 with this list and just kind of farting around with it. Seems pretty good against like Control, but even the Dredge deck felt pretty good against Control. But we'll give it some goes, see how it plays out. I wanted to get some games in with this deck here. But we'll do a couple of these, see how it goes live. If this deck doesn't work, we got some other decks we can try out, and we will just kind of get a show, get to see. As a reminder, okay, so this hand doesn't really do much. Opponent goes first. This is likely Wizards, so we'll put away Narcomoeba. Opponent gives us the hello. Wizards on the play is kind of scary. So I think we're just going to set up the Consider here. For the month of April, any YouTube revenue that I do generate from the channel, I am donating it all to local Toronto food banks. So if you can watch the content, it helps. Every dollar towards charity is a good thing. We have a goal of $500 for the month. Okay, Unholy Heat's nice. So here, a couple different things I can do. I can do a setup turn, which I think I like. Okay, so we got no birds, all our burn. Kind of annoying. So we're obviously hoping for even just hitting a single glimpse would a bit, or Narcomoeba. We ended up drawing it, so we were one card off there. I am gonna have to kill something here. Wizards on the play can be tough. So I think we start with looting. Let's put... It's probably... So that was my red mana, so I do need to shock here, which also hurts. So if that's the case, we just get rid of these. Kind of annoying. Just not hitting Phoenix. Like a single Phoenix there would have helped. Okay, so this is targeting you, so let's just Unholy Heat this. So doing it now, because even if they cast 2 more spells, this still dies. And then just the fact we milled over a bunch of our burn hurts. Okay, so they were just going straight lethal there. Okay, so they have 7 here. That means any burn spell also is lethal, pretty much. Need to set up here. No! I wanted to set this up. I wanted to do this on upkeep. Yeah, we're just dead. Just dead. Drew the wrong half there. You know, we hit a bird in that mill 10. We hit a Narcomoeba. We hit a blocker. There was a lot of potential outs there. We just didn't hit it. So part of like the downside of like this dredge package, you are playing some number of like non-spells. The Narcomoebas have utility when you mill them over. Make sure to set your upkeep stop if you have Otherworldly Gaze. We missed it there. Because what I wanted to do was gaze, push those cards to the graveyard, have the Phoenix in the yard, so that way we didn't have to play the discard too. Opponent goes first. I think we keep this. So I'm going to consider on 1. Because I'm going to use this looting to discard the Ox, so it has some value there. I think that's fine. So we did that because they likely take the Glimpse there. It's like the scariest card there. So I think we do this. Then we bin the Ox and a land. Then I could shock in for Tainted Indulgence next turn. We're at 4 of the 5 cards already. We're at 1 mana, so 0, 1, 5, 2. Okay, so they're playing Cling to Dust main, and they opt to not go for the Ox of Agonis, which is interesting. Okay, no more lands. I doubt they're playing more than 1 Cling, but we'll see. Discard a card. We'll get rid of Watery Grave. I might just want to thread out, to be honest. We're drawing a ton of lands, which sucks. Just hold this up. I want to have this up in case they have Crucius, which they most likely do. The Unholy Heats can also target a Nicol Bolas if they have it. I only play 20 lands in the deck, and we've seen a lot of them thus far. This dying is fine. Them hitting that Faithless Looting, again, 18 cards, no bird, is a tad annoying. Just kill Crucius here. Okay, so they have 6 cards, so we probably just want to black, black, blue, red. So I'm gonna shock here. I think we just do both here, because this plays around if they have Nicol Bolas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven, 8. What is with all these lands? I've drawn 13 of my 20 lands. And I've drawn none of my actual spells in the deck and all of my creatures. Frustrating. Yeah. Dragon God comes down. So this is like Mistman's list. Like I'm just like super annoyed the fact like we've been drawing all our creatures. Like, look how many spells there are in my deck. Look how many spells, and we haven't drawn a single.
I outsmarted you eons ago.
So they do have Cling for the Ox. This bolus likely will take over the game, all things considered. Seven cards, you're 8 to escape. But we don't really want the bird here. I'm just very annoyed. They don't have Revolt active yet, so I do get 3 damage in at least.
Do not defy me.
No. We will see what they decide to target. Will likely be the Ox in the graveyard, but we do have this Ox in hand. It will refill some cards. The problem is they're drawing at least 2 cards a turn. That's actually better for us. 2 mana is better than 5. It does get my Phoenix out of it. Oh my god, this guy's so lucky. Okay, let's do this one more. Let's see if we draw proper. I am quite perturbed. Come on, Arena. Drawing, what was that in the end? 14 out of 20 lands. And then all your creatures, no spells in your Spellslinger deck. It's not the angle you want to go. Okay, opponent's on Luris. Gonna mulligan this. Think we keep this. Gonna put back Ox, I think, here. Gotta set an upkeep stop here. Okay, so we do need to... I think I'm gonna gaze. Oh, that's actually great. Shock, Unholy Heat it, draw the land, opt, then Glimpse the Unthinkable, probably. I'm shocking here to pay for the Esper Sentinel tax. This could be Auras. Okay, that goes Skrelv. So So let's do the Sentinel here. Because now I can opt, take this Unholy Heat to hand. So the downside of this okay, so I'm gonna set an upkeep stop. I think we either want to find a land. So just gonna take Skrelv off the battlefield here. I need to find another burn spell. Think we just bin all of these. That did not work out how we wanted. So there was an approach of going Skrelv there. But now we're probably dead. They can get Audacity, pair it with that, and now I'm dead. Okay. This deck's not working for me today. We try them out. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. We'll switch it up. Alright. Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today, we're going to be trying out a couple different decks, seeing how they play out. We are going to go with a deck that's been putting up some results in Pioneer right now, a couple 5-0s. I think Saffron Olive also took a version of this to Mythic. It is a Waste Not Mono Black discard deck in Explorer Best of 3. So it's built around the card Waste Not. So whenever an opponent discards a card, you get some utility. If it's a creature, you get a 2/2. If it's a land, you get to get 2 mana. And if it's a non-creature, non-land, you get to draw a card. You pair that with stuff like Turgid to get their permanents into play. You got Liliana, Sheoldred, Davriel for tax, and then just a bunch of removal. You also have Asylum Visitor that you can madness out and then get some utility there. Whole bunch of hand hate, bunch of removal. You also have Gyre Reach Sanitarium that you can force the draw discard, get cards out of the opponent's hands, and then also trigger your Waste Not repeatedly. You can do this on upkeep, let them draw the card, and then kind of just continuously attack their hand. Sideboard, Raven Feeblements for like white decks, Extinction Event, Ritual Soot as more sweepers. You got 3 Leyline of the Voids. This is just like the worst way to show this sideboard. Another Edict for Planeswalkers, Bankbusters for grindier matchups, and Invoke Despairs. So we'll give this a go. We'll see how it plays out. Thus far, the Arena Shuffler and the Arena hasn't been kind to me this morning. So we're going to see how this deck goes, give it a couple games, and take it from there. Sometimes Arena just, makes you hit the good stuff. Other times, like this morning, I was trying to play Phoenix, and I drew 14 out of my 20 lands. So this deck is the consistent, hopefully discard on 1. I think this hand's fine. Obviously want one more black source. Spirits. So I think we're just going to do this now. We'll duress on turn 3 to give us the best chance. So it might have been right to kill this before they could protect. Okay. Another 2-mana spell would be good. I do want to try to hit, ideally, actually, Go Blank here is pretty good because it takes 2 cards out, so even if they have Coco, they need to hit land and Coco. Interesting. They're playing Watcher of Spheres instead of Empyrean Eagle. Let's see what they got. Okay. So I think we just do this.
Nobody knows Domino.
They sacrifice the Shacklegeist.
Off you go.
We got a lot of removal. Ritualist should be good.
Oh, that's my cue to leave.
Okay, so that's actually really good. So we get some land here, or mana, but we can't do anything with it this turn. Okay, so they did hit Apparition. That kind of sucks. Yeah, it's an interesting choice to play that. Jeez, can we like draw something but non-lands? I need to draw a card here. Ritualist it one time. We have sweepers in the side, but it looks like our deck's just giving us lines. Okay, only lands. Only lands. Gotta love it. Okay, so this matchup is just all removal. Liliana's probably... Okay, so Davriel doesn't do much here. The Duress, I don't think we want. Probably just trim one Lily here. Thoughtseize eating creatures is fine. Today, Arena's just letting me draw lines. We needed like one spell out of like 5 cards. Because if we hit a removal spell, we can hit the Spirit. I think post-board, having access to a lot more sweepers will help. Keep this. Okay, so Portable Hole doesn't really do much, so let's get rid of the Glasspool Mimic. I can just start attacking their hand. That's an interesting keep. I guess you're worried against a discard deck to mulligan, but this hand puts no pressure. So I'm going to hold Edict here.
A fight? And you think you can win?
As Liliana does a better job. Because now I don't have to discard a card. Okay, so them doing Skyclave there is pretty good.
I'm not interested in dying.
Because now I just go Shieldred. Now they need to have another access to another Skyclave. If they do, then I Extinction Event. And I get value there. If I draw land, I get Turgid. I think this is a cast Turgid as Turgid angle. Okay. So they go Company. I mean, they drew pretty well out of that Thoughtseize, Supreme Phantom, Skyclave Apparition, and Coco. Do I even care? I mean, it gets the portable hole out. They're gonna get rid of Supreme Phantom? That seems pretty solid. I don't know why they wouldn't get rid of Skyclave Apparition there. This portable hole is not really doing much. It seems pretty loose, but we'll take it. Okay, so we need... Perfect. So we're going to name Odd here. Okay, so it's worth noting they do have the Selfless Spirit. Yeah, they're just... They're just dead here. With Gaia Reach. Yeah. They block, they go to upkeep, they need like Coco into that. Kalitas seems good. Probably get rid of Go Blank. Honestly, probably just play another Lily. Like at the very least... So like Lily at the very least just trades for one of their creatures and takes some damage. The Bant Spirit list is a lot more creature focused. Yeah, I think we keep this. Removal 2, 3, play Waste Not, hopefully have a discard spell. No sweeper, but I think we go with it. Sheoldred's Edict also plays around Rattle Chains pretty nicely. Okay, so... Probably do this upkeep. So I want him to tap mana on their turn. Because then either hopefully I can go blank. I know this can counter. That's part of the reason. Because I need to get... Oh, that's interesting. This is just instant or sorcery. Okay, so I can Heartless Act the Watcher Spears, or I can go blank, force the discard. Could also just set up Waste Not. Like, go blank's a little annoying because it doesn't actually hit the thing there. And if they go land Coco, it's not great for me. Turgid doesn't do much. So I think it is... I think it is go blank, force the sack. It's not like a great line here because I'm just not mana efficient otherwise. I thought they would sacrifice this over the Watcher the Spears. Hey Lincoln. It's Easter weekend. It's a Saturday morning. So Rattle Chains can cost 1 here. So I'm doing this. Try to bait out stuff. I need a sweeper. I think I want to change the configuration. There's too many go. So, and draw discard. If I get the mana. I think we do it on their turn. Okay, so they can't Coco anymore, so I think we do this now. Discard the land here. Yeah, get some pressure. I just need to kind of survive, and I'm a little bit worried because now we help them find that land. Okay, Ritual's pretty nice. They do need to sacrifice the Selfless Spirit. But it buys me a turn at least. Extinction Event would have been great here. Ram is with Coco. Can they kill me through a Coco? They do it on their upkeep. The Ritualist Soot protects them though. The sacrifice, I get it back. But then I get to Field of Ruin a land, get their land back. And Ritualist Soot. Alright, let's take a chance. Let's take a chance! Okay, so they protect there. So Selfless Spirit kills me. Eagle, that goes to Xaxis, yeah. Alright, we're gonna change this up a bit. I don't like the configuration. Because, like, you're not going to really use, like, there's too much in terms of, like, dead cards, I think. Also, would have been nice to draw a Fatal Push in any of those games. I think we want another Go for the Throat. Trim down on a Duress. The Edicts are fine. Do we want, like, a creature packet? Or Maybe no Davriel. Play an Extinction. Let's play the second Ritual main. And then maybe Davriel's side. Like, I think Turgid might just be Winmar. Hey, Broken, how's it going? We are trying out stuff, seeing how things go. The Selfless Spirit there was kind of annoying, because like if we Ritual, we're kind of put in a position like we're basically only dealing with one thing. Okay. Let's go. Let's take our chances. You know what? I'm gonna take a chance. It's gonna be Grease Fangwatch. It's the Croxa. Let's get rid of Blood Tithe. So Go Blank will be good here. Come on! Well, our hand does nothing now. Kidding me? Oh, Thoughtseize Bug! Okay, so they could stomp us. Let's see what they do here. Ooh, Go Blank's very good here. I wish they had like one more card. Okay, so their plan this turn is land, play Croxa, I discard Liliana. I need them to not have that Thoughtseize. We would have been in a much better spot. Now we're in a good spot. So if they draw land, they can hit me. Oh my god. The top decks are unreal. I think we just go Knight here. Oh, I didn't have Revolt. Oh my god. Okay, we're just gonna concede. Shame concede. I didn't have Revolt. Kalidas, Invoke Despairs, Bankbuster, Shieldred's Edict, Davriel. Ritual of Soot's still fine, Turgid's fine, Liliana's fine. I think we take out the Duress. Waste Not's also fine. The Fatal Push could come out. And I like the Edicts, I like that, I like Invoke. Asylum Seekers, fine. Go Blank's fine. Maybe just trim one Thoughtseize. I'm playing so bad today. I think you might want... Like, the concept of this deck's cool, but I don't think Turgid's where you want to be. It's more Winmar. Like, the Waste Nots have utility. Hopefully no discard on one. Cool. Gaia Reach is nice to filter your draws. And it could be like more interesting in like probably just bin this. I should have done that, because if they discarded a creature I could have blocked. So we'll discard Gaia Reach here. So I get a creature. So I have a couple options. Obviously, this has some utility. They'll discard 2 cards. They could get a treasure, but I have Ritual. I think I like this. Kind of force them to... Because if they discard off the Fable, I get value too. So it kind of forces their hand here. And if they play another creature, we're going to save the Ritual for the following turn. Proxa. So... probably just get rid of Edict here. I think I want a Liliana. Use this as like a distraction.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me. I'm tired of your secrets.
Because the creatures can have some value here. I'm going to be playing into this Ritualist set anyways. So this forces a removal out of them for them to take my Liliana off the battlefield. Unless they just draw Thoughtseize. Yeah, they just got it all. The concept of this is, but you're playing like worse cards than just this. Not having access to like Fable feels bad. Okay, well. Let's see what they do here. Oh, they just... Ah, we're dead. Okay, this deck's garbage. I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun. I don't think that is the deck to play. The important thing, as always with Magic, if you ain't having fun, switch decks. I've been doing really good with this mono green Stompy list. Mono blue Spirits. Them being on the play is a good start for them. Okay, so they have the denial there. Just trying to bait out the Coco. The thing is they have the counter here. They can just attack in the air. Opponent's draw was good! We didn't draw anything and we're dead. Ay. No luck with Magic today. Might be a case of the goal there was to bait out a removal spell so that way I could cheat out Coco. We were able to go turn 3 Coco, but they had counters in both creatures and in hand. The Spirits matchup's not terrible. Obviously, on the play with that start is very good for them. We had a removal spell, but not always working. Opponent goes first. Give it a shot. Everybody's on Spirits. That's fine. I always kind of find it funny how they're playing Hall of the Storm Giant in a deck that's going to be quite limited in terms of lines. I'm just forcing things out here. I got the Geist. So we might just be dead here. They tap down. I'm doing Coco now. Jesus Christ. What is up today? Unbelievable. I literally haven't won a single game. Best of 1, best of 3. 0-8. This is just silly. Yeah, it's... some days you're gonna win games, other days you're just gonna be stuck doing whatever the hell this is. This is likely enigmatic. It happens every month, but it's just... So they're trying to go into Atraxa here, so we gotta take them off creatures. Think we just... attack in with both here. As long as we keep them off creatures, they can't transmogrify or creativity. They could have Anger of the Gods or Brotherhood's End. So they can do that. Just play this out. I just want to play around. They usually play Censor or Jawari. They could go big score here and we're just dead. So this is probably the Locust God version since they're on Valakut Awakening. So if they have a land, they target 2 things and then I'm dead. Because why not? I've drawn more Scavenging Oozes than I have creatures. Oh and 9. I cannot win a single game of Magic today. This is a 67% win rate deck. My opponents are curving out great. I am struggling. This is probably Angels. It's a pretty free attack here. I do need a removal spell though. They could Collected Company here, and then I'm pretty much dead. Okay, cool. So I could take them. They're clearly missing a land. I think the play is take them off the Llanowar Elf. Because they had to shock in for this. While they can gain 8 life. I think we just do this. Like, it takes me off Coco. But like we see here, they're clearly struggling for mana. And like I have 1 ETH, so all my creatures trade with Youthful at least. So we just go Ooze here and pass the turn. Try to hit something big off this. Okay. 1-9! Comeback season! This is like the opposite of speedrun to Mythic. It's like speedrun to bronze the way we're going. Let's see. Could try out. Could just go back to like burn and. I'm gonna try this. If they kill my elf on one, I'm in trouble, but all things considered. Land? What the hell's this? Okay. Well, if we draw land, I could collect it, company. So, kill that. Keep him off any funny business. Golos! The Seiju's actually great here. I think that's worth it. So they could go collect, they could get like Needle or Grafdigger's Cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. And they go Stone Coil. So I think it is. So that guarantees that. I could Vivian. Vivian gives me an answer. But we just like missed on lands too many turns. They also had access to Stone Coil, which happens to block. I think I just gotta try to Coco into like Ronas.
I will not stop.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they need another land. They can portal to Phyrexia me. Karn means I can't activate that. So you go here, you go here. Then Scavenging Ooze, eat that. They're dead. Get rid of Golos. Alright, so we managed to pull it off with one land for like 4 turns. We beat a Cityscape Leveler, Portal to Phyrexia. Alright, is this the win streak now? We have to just lose 9 games in a row. Thanks, Bill. One was a bit scary. Okay, opponent goes first. I have Elf. This counts as a land. We have Ooze, potentially, if they're on Greasefang. I think we keep. Would have loved this if I was on the play. Blue-white control. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do, but cool, I guess. Tap out. Trying to like bait out some spells from them now. Soul Partition of all cards, not even a removal spell. Because if I could stick Vivian, we're okay. Okay, so I think I need to jam this now. Well, that resolves. That's cool. Okay, so they can Teferi tuck my Vivian.
I won't hide from the world. Keep up the pace.
So I can do this, play into that. They could have Farewell.
Stop that
Hey, girl.
now.
Were you playing, like the devotion lists, or? Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna go Vigilance in case they have the Wandering Emperor. I know this plays me into Farewell, but if they just have Supreme Verdict, then at least I get this hanging around. The Devotion list is actually really good against my deck, but I think in general it's a bit too slow for best of one meta. Yeah, so we did that. So I can go this to go Pack Leader. I can do this to get Ooze. Because I could do this on the minus.
I hope things get out of hand for you.
Yeah, Henge is too slow for best of one, I'm finding. It also, like, if we look at this game right now, if we had Henge out, opponent casts Farewell, I lose everything. But this Vivian's been doing a great job of just pressuring my opponent.
Anyone who harms my people must contend with me. You're done.
So I think we do this. Between the two, I'd rather they kill the troll, so we'll put a point of damage there.
Until next time, then.
And then we're just going to go Vigilance here. Again, playing around Wandering Emperor. I'm going to hold off, because if they kill my board, I can set up my lands to be able to just sack one of them for an Old Growth Troll. We have to be mindful that Hall of the Storm Giants will be on starting next turn. So I think we do this. Blizzard's Brawl is not great, but I could potentially like fight the Hall of the Storm Giants next turn. I think here, because I can do the land, it's fine. I don't know if this extra tax... Interesting. They didn't want to block. Okay, so they can punch into Vivian here. They could Farewell here. Farewell is like the worst. But this looks like Supreme Verdict. Nope, just another Shark. And then likely Wandering Emperor. No, they were just trying to find their sweeper. Alright. Things are slightly turning around. The control matchup's usually pretty good. Proctor doesn't really do much against us because we're not really an enter the battlefield style deck. But Vivian's really the card that solos there. This hand doesn't really do anything. Yeah, we'll keep this hand. Put back a Steel Leaf. So that usually could be rogues, I would guess. Or like one of the Egg Carnation piles. Island. Forest. I mean, it could be Simic Flash. If it is... Yeah, that feels bad. Well, hopefully I draw land, so I can go... Coco... Perfect. So here I Coco. So I have the choice of Kazandu or Scavenging Ooze. I think Scavenging Ooze. Okay, so they can't wolf me this turn. So I kind of have to do this now because I need the attack trigger. They could have the bounce for this pack leader. That's fine. Probably should have attacked there. Missed out a point of damage. Maybe should have held off on the land right now. But this kind of has to force them to react. No, you don't have access to the dredge cards. Or not the deluge, what is it called? Delve. No delve cards, so you can't cheat into play Atraxa. So I just really want to force double spells out of them. They don't really have anything great even if they're on Gearhulk. So I had lethal technically with the pump, but if they play something into it, then I'm pretty screwed. So we'll try to bait a counter here. So we see rewind. I mean, if they're playing like 3 counters for this, then their hand's gonna be kind of iffy. Yeah, they're just dead. Unless they're playing like River's Rebuke, which if they're playing River's Rebuke, congratulations. I'm guessing their hand, they're stuck on 1 green. That's why the Fabled Passage aren't great. You end up kind of stuck in a case of your lands come into play at awkward times. Well, like, when Rewind goes off, it's great, but largely you're paying 4 mana. Most of the time, like, at that point of the game, it's kind of past this stage. So we tried out a couple different brews today, and they all kind of... We went 0-9. The Shuffler, just luck, life, everything was against us today. Goblins! Gabagoos! Gonna go Old Growth Troll here, because if they kill it, I get to ramp. This turn's actually great, because I can go... Blizzard's Brawl with Indestructible. Kill your Spellbreaker. This is like, I just pulled out my Gruul list from 2019. No, you're not really ramping into anything. And you want to have as many snow-covered basics as possible. For this exact reason of Blizzard Brawl. If it wasn't for the snow basics, we would have traded in combat, so we don't get the value. The castle's better for like elves because you have a lot of mana sinks. Alright, cool. Historically, Gruul's always had trouble against this mono green Stompy list just because you're slightly bigger. While Gruul has Ember Cleave, and I'm guessing that's what they're playing for. Us going like turn 2 4/4s and 5/4s, and then playing like a 1/1 Pelt Collector isn't great. It'd be fun to try to play Ember Cleave in this deck. Mono green Stompy Cleave. Like we probably could with all the dual lands. But then it makes your Coco worse. Like the card I'd probably add before anything. Okay, opponent goes first. Jengantha's likely sack, but we'll keep this. This is the Priest deck.
Whoever slays the most Phyrexians wins.
Okay.
Take my hand.
Ooze could have some value since Tyvar is going to mill. Might need the Rebuke here, but it's probably just Troll. Okay. Opponent's had a good draw. We needed like Blizzard's Brawl would have helped.
Your story's not finished yet.
So they can minus again, but then they get Priest with no value. I can have Coco going. I can play Ooze and have up Master's Rebuke as another effect. Okay, Jenga.
We can do this all day.
Okay, I'm gonna hold up Beseju. Ooh, this is actually interesting. I actually think it's Ooze because they're gonna minus to try to find Priest here. And with Rebuke, then I can get something. Worst case, I just eat at their graveyard and get a bigger Scavenging Ooze to try to attack into Tyvar. Because I can make this 4/4. Do I want Rebuke here? I think we're gonna do this. Was hoping they didn't have that, but because this deck's probably only playing 4 Fatal Push as their only removal.
Rally.
Ah, they hit double Woe Strider. Yeah. It's been a very, very good draw for opponent. So I need to collect a company, try to find Ooze. Doesn't work. Ah, da 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 da. Because now they go Woe Strider. They have the access to sack things to drain me. Frustrating. Our Coco just based on what we drew in Old Growth, so or do we draw land? They are out of cards, which bodes well at least.
There's that second wind.
I have access to this Old Growth with Master's Rebuke. So I'm hoping this Rebuke, I can get them, yeah, in weird math. Probably have to let this pack leader die though. Because they're probably going to want to keep Woe Strider around. If I can get Tyvar off, we might have a chance. Because, like, they might not want to have this Woe Strider trade. Okay, so that's 3 damage. So I think we get rid of you two. So I'm going to do this. Because the trample damage will go through it. We get Jengantha off the board.
Let the fiends have this one.
They'll gain a bunch of life. Now we're kind of in top deck mode, but... So they have access to some sack abilities. They could sack a couple things. They can escape another Woe Strider, which is a bit annoying. We were 1 mana short of being able to just pop this other troll. Ah, of course. Of course. Priest.
Will make a thrilling tale. Share in my glory.
Vran coming back's annoying. Because I can't really push through damage here. And just drawing elves is not where we want to be. Need to find like Blizzard's Brawl. Okay, that does help. Yeah, it's just we're getting the wrong half situation. Okay, so we'll do this. They can get some sacks going. I think we hold the Blizzard's Brawl for next turn. Hey Kevin, it is not. It was for like a hot minute, but it's worse than just the Rakdos sack deck. It's very contingent. So the thing is, if you get like Priest out on turn 2, it can be very impactful. But the disparity of cards between like good and bad cards is a lot higher. It's just incidentally, we've drawn a lot of lands. They've drawn Tyvar into Tyvar, had 3 Fatal Push, I think. 2 Fatal Push in their openers. And have just, like, they killed our Ooze and then milled into 2 Woe Striders. Do I care about that? I think we just take the damage here. In case we draw like Roness. Also, we're sacking a land, so... For Golgari...